Welcome to one of the most special weekends here at East Carolina University, honoring the former coach and Keith LeClaire for his classic tournament this weekend. Indiana State, reigning champs of the Missouri Valley, come to town. East Carolina out of the American, two programs looking to bounce back with wins and kickstart day two here at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Welcome into the press box here in one of the most bopping places in Greenville with the former coach and longtime legend Mike Mullis. I'm EvanBudrovich. Unique matchup tonight in terms of starting pitching. East Carolina rolling out a freshman All-American candidate. Indiana State, the reigning freshman of the year in the Missouri Valley. What excites you about these young arms tonight?
Young arms, right? The electricity that comes with it. Jenkins is special. We all know that. It should be electric on the bump, and it's going to be all about who can get deeper in the game for their starting staff.
From an offensive standpoint, Indiana State is led by one key returner in the middle in Carter Beck. He's the Missouri Valley leader in RBI. What allows him to continue that success today?
You know, just a solid player all the way around, and somebody that the staff here is super excited about, a guy that brings some juice to the game, and you see him there nodding his head to the music. It just loose and loves to play the game, has a great time doing it.
Beck had a couple of hits last night for the Sycamores, who lost to Virginia Tech. East Carolina, meanwhile, it's been an up-and-down start to this early season, but the leadoff man, Alex Piltier, how does he help out the Pirates today?
I'll tell you what, with 3 big hits last night and lots of good swings all year, he's been a guy that I've raved about and really have enjoyed watching play. Can really run, great arm, good at the plate. He is a dude that he's kind of the spark plug for this offense right now.
The Pirates honoring Coach LeClaire with the 23s, a classic uniform here in Greenville. We'll step aside and get you ready for day two of the Coach LeClaire Classic. What a beautiful night for baseball in Greenville when we return on ESPN+. Welcome back to Clark LeClaire Stadium. We noted some dynamic arms on the mound today. Two programs looking for opening wins in this Coach Keith LeClaire Classic tournament. And ECU rolls out not only a talented freshman, but the top-rated freshman arm in the American Conference. This is Son Jenkins, nearby product to Hickory. Up and down in his first 2 starts, Molly. How do the Pirates get his best version today?
You know what, Ev, I'd say more up than down when you're talking about a freshman that's only given up 5 hits over 9 innings pitched, and one of those against a really good North Carolina team. You know, electric stuff, composure is impressive. Again, 17-year-old young man that should theoretically still be in high school. He's special.
Jenkins faces an Indiana State lineup that's totally revamped from a 2024 year with 44 wins and a new coaching staff. Jeremy Martinez has been excellent. 357 clip, and Miguel Cantu, we noted, Carter Beck. There's a little bit of experience, but a lineup looking to find its rhythm this year.
Yeah, you know, spent some time with Coach Archuleta today, and you know, 26 new guys. They have been road warriors this season, hadn't been home very much at all. Matter of fact, finally play a home opener next week. So, yeah, it's kind of it seems to be a theme in college baseball, EB, where everybody's trying to figure out what they're about and then obviously what the opposing team's about. But definitely the Sycamores in that situation just trying to establish an identity.
The Sycamores hit .314 as a club a year ago. This year it's been a nice home run offense, nearly 10 home runs in the first 2 weeks for Indiana State. And facing a Pirate club defensively. A couple of changes today. Roger Vergara gets the start in left field. And keep an eye on Peltier, who's moved from right to center as Coach Godwin looks to solidify that outfield tonight.
You know what, that's been interesting. We saw Drew Downs last night for about 6-7 innings, and he was ultimately lifted. Vergara, another one of these infielders that has been converted, at least for today, to the outfield and has been kind of tender with a high hamstring issue. So we'll keep an eye on that today. It's kind of seems like there's been a lot of shakeup. We saw some routines that were a little bit different in pregame, and looks like the Pirates are trying to figure out a way to find that magic formula.
One thing that's always a tradition here, loud noises and great atmosphere. Pirate Nation ready to roll for this third week of the college season. Two programs that combined for 90 wins a year ago. Indiana State, East Carolina, each reached a region final last year. And here's Sean Jenkins, who's fresh in for his third career start, pounding the zone.
Let me tell you what a bright spot about that pitch right there is, Ev. Velocity's been down a little bit for Jenkins' last two outings. There's that 94-mile-an-hour fastball that we've kind of been waiting to see.
Jenkins working against Eli Gibson, the starting shortstop for the Sycamores, and he lays off a slider. Gibson, one of 8 full-time new starters for first-year coach Tracy Archuleta, who's had a ton of experience as the top assistant. Takes advantage of a new opportunity here and replacing a great coaching staff with Mitch Hannes, who's now at South Florida. These are never easy rebuilding jobs.
Coach Archuleta, 2-time national championship at the Division II level. So he knows how to build a winner.
Tracy's starting shortstop Eli Gibson takes a strike. The Southern Indiana standout, the Screaming Eagles for 18 years. Took over that job, 2-time National Coach of the Year at the D2 level. A ton of experience, and his young roster looks to get going here in this first inning. As Jenkins dots it up for strike 3. Good start with a fastball.
Yeah, again, another look at the 94. I've seen him up to 96 personally, and you know, it's been a lot of 91 and 92 early, but there's that 94 up in the zone with a little late life, and man, that's a great sign from the young freshman.
Sean Jenkins, who in the fall was hitting 95, 96 in the College World Series, and Cliff Godwin said he's more mature than any 17-year-old I'd ever seen. It's a lot of praise from a 400-win head coach in Cliff Godwin. As his young arm dots the zone again.
Yeah, Jenkins was voted as the hardest working pitcher on staff, and that's not freshman pitcher. That's the hardest working pitcher, period, and quite an accolade coming from Coach Godwin and then, of course, his peers.
A 2024 Pirate staff that was led by elite experience between Trey Savage and Zach Root among a veteran bullpen. Now it's a revamped pitching staff. And leaning on young arms like Jenkins tonight to help get out of a tough slot. 3-6 start for East Carolina. Jenkins living with that fastball early, works 0-2, and goes to the splitter. Good start, 2 Ks.
You know, Norby last night, that start's not to be to go without mention. That was an incredible start, and you'll see here the little splitty there, about 85 miles an hour. But Norby with a great outing and turns it over to the bullpen, and they kind of ran into some issues, a couple 3-run home runs there in the 7th. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The bulk of this staff right now are these young guys.
Over 70% new arms in terms of total innings for Cliff Godwin and Austin Knight, the pitching coach, with last year's staff ranking in the top 10 in total ERA. That's a fun challenge as a coach, building out this arm. And here is Miguel Cantu, the starting left fielder. Watching another good slider for a strike. Cantu at Morton College hit everything. 457 clip. He's continued that success. Now above 400 here in his first 3 weeks of the Division I ranks. facing a flamethrower in Jenkins, who's pumping 94 with ease.
Little emotion from the young freshman as he makes his way back to the dugout.
The 17-year-old is ready for this moment. Not one, not two, but to quote LeBron James, 3 punch-outs for Jenkins. He's cruising through 1. A matchup of talented arms continue. This is Grant Parson, the reigning freshman of the year in the Missouri Valley, a top arm through a year ago for this Indiana State staff. Now, one note, Northeastern's a very solid program. Mike Lavin coaching up there. To hold the Huskies to 1 run in 6 innings, that's an impressive debut on the bump.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Northeastern had an outing against the Boston Red Sox spring training team over at Fenway at one point. But anyway, yeah, numbers are good. 2.45 ERA out of the young sophomore. Scattered 4 hits over 6 innings, and this should be quite an interesting matchup.
Parson faces an East Carolina order that has a couple of changes from a night ago, and it's worth noting their star returner, Dixon Williams, up into the 2 spot. He had 2 hits, and then Peltier off a 3-hit night gets elevated to the leadoff spot. A simple game of analytics. Get your best hitters as many opportunities as possible. And here's a Pirate offense that comes in hitting just .222 in the first 3 weeks. Peltier takes a strike, and we're rolling here in the bottom of the first.
You know, .222 doesn't really tell the tale of the most recent efforts. They certainly against ODU and even last night were much more lively. So signs of progress for the Pirate offense.
The 6'5" Grant Parson challenging there and up in the count 0-2. And here's Grant in 2 starts. 8 Ks, 1 walk. He's a strike thrower, great pounder of the zone. And a Pirate offense that has lived on hit by pitches, sack bunts, situational baseball for the last 5 years for Coach Godwin. Trying to resurrect some offense here in this first inning.
You know, it's been an interesting contrast this year where we've not seen as much of that as we have seen previously, but you're right, a team that has historically done an amazing job manufacturing runs.
There's a good pitch and a punch out early for the sophomore Grant Parson.
And something you don't see Peltier do often is strike out. His last at bat last night, he did strike out, but normally just so competitive in these ABs, and you see the fastball there, a little late life again, down and under the hands of Peltier.
A 2-seamer into a righty. That seems like one of the most difficult pitches to hit in baseball.
Look, anytime you can make it move to both sides of the plate against anybody, it makes the job that much more difficult as a hitter.
This sets up Dixon Williams. We noted for the Pirates, all wearing number 23 to honor Coach LeClaire this weekend. Not only fantastic uniforms, but a great cause in the fight against ALS in a community in Greenville that has such close ties to the LeClaire family. Williams, of course, the Greenville native, swings over the top of that one. Good changeup, good split finger, a little 2-seam action from Parson early. And he goes 4-seam back up the middle. There's the opening hit for the Pirates tonight.
Good piece of hitting here by Dixon. Kid just gets a pitch down in the zone and not trying to do too much. He gets it just enough of it to drive it out in the center field. We noted yesterday as the day went on for him, we saw Dixon hit a ball in the left center. And when he starts doing that, that's kind of when he's getting locked in. So see if Dixon can come to life this afternoon.
Here's Colby Wallace, the third baseman for the Pirates. And Wallace lays off a breaker in the dirt. Martinez, the catcher, has been really good for Indiana State this year. Not a team that allows a ton of base running against them. Parson now on 1-0. Gives a quick pick, keeping tabs on Williams.
Yeah, probably a good idea. It looked like Dixon might have taken a little false step towards first base, but they recognize the team speed here and how much these Pirates work on base running and trying to get the extra bag.
Now to the plate, Wallace, good snag at third by Sutherland. Gets one, turns two. Indiana State, who turned 35 double plays a year ago, get a big one to end the first inning. Good battle early through one inning. Pirates and Sycamores knotted up thanks to great defense. Welcome back to Greenville. It's a relatively new series, but date back 3 years in this same tournament. Indiana State got off to a red-hot start, a home run for Randall Diaz in the early going. A lot of familiar names to Pirate Nation. There's the small ball we've noted of years past for East Carolina, and a 5-4 comeback win to kick off the Coach LeClerc Classic.
Yeah, you get the Agnos and Ryder Giles and that crowd. I mean, that was a fun time in Pirate baseball.
Legends from a pitching standpoint. Jake Kuchmaner got the start in that one. And now this next generation. Talented freshman, Sean Jenkins. And ECU staff did a year ago, and maybe that was the biggest talking point, but a sub-4 ERA until the final weeks. They had an elite arm staff, especially up top. You noted the great work from the quick pitching, talented arm for the Pirates yesterday. We'll see if they can continue that success today.
You know, it's amazing just since that time how much the game of college baseball and college athletics, period, have changed.
A quick backdoor breaker for a strike. One, the pitch clocks come in, which has been good for all parties involved. And two teams are less analytically driven to bunt the ball, a lot more free swinging. This is Carlos Pena, the DH, who's 1 for 5 this year. Pena in the fall, who is recovering from an arm injury, was a huge middle of the order producer. A Missouri commit out of high school, but fell out of graces. Ends up here at Indiana State and works 2-2. Rockets one off his bat. That is just foul.
I'll tell you what, if you get one in the air today, we got a lot of wind, and it kind of seems to be circling a little bit. Right now, it's kind of dead in the press box, and the flag is awfully quiet for as much wind is blowing. I mean, our papers are blowing all over the place, but we must be getting it just right as it comes in kind of off Charles Boulevard.
That wind between 8 and 17 miles would scare me as a pitcher because they could pick up, it could slow down depending on where you're at. Here's the 2-2. testing the win here. Pena pop up. And it stays in the yard. Looks like it's blowing in just a touch in right, which adds to the confusion. There's the first out.
Drew Downs out there in right field, no problem with that one. A little lazy fly ball.
Right in front of the East Carolina student section out there in right field.
They're all appreciative.
That have been here since Monday night with a rain revamp game against North Carolina. It's been a busy week of home baseball to open the year. This is a slow roller for Nick Sutherland. Wallace, his third base counterpart, with a nice play.
Really nice play for Colby, and it's been fairly well documented, the offensive struggles that Colby's gone through, although we did have a couple knocks last night, but you'll see it here, still playing solid defense. He comes and gets this one, great play, throws on the money. Nice play by Colby Wallace. You know, it's hard to remember he's only a sophomore, you know, I mean, he hadn't been here that long.
A position that Alec Makarevich had reigned for 3 years here at East Carolina, opened the door last season. And here's young Colby Wallace filling those shoes quite nicely at third. That was an All-American at third base for the Pirates. Keegan Garris, one of 26 newcomers, 14 Division I transfers. Coach Archuleta had a busy summer on the recruiting trail. And a nasty splitter. The 17-year-old Sean Jenkins, he is cooking through 2 innings. And pitch 21 stays down. Maturity well beyond his years. Third career start for Jenkins. And he forces weak contact.
I think it's important to note that this Indiana State team can put up runs in bushel baskets. Going back to their third game with Wagner not too long ago, about a week, 10 days ago, 20-run third and a 10-run fifth for a total of 36 total runs. I think they scored roughly 64 or 5 runs with 51 or 2 RBIs in that deal. So a team that can score them in baskets.
Opening weekend bonkers. Week 3, better defense and pitching has come to play. 2 scoreless for Sean Jenkins. And 2 offenses that love to get going here in the Coach LeClaire Classic. We'll take the timeout in Greenville. Nice start for the freshman arm for East Carolina. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. What a busy start of home games here for the East Carolina Pirates, and one of the better crowds you've seen this year. Great atmosphere for the Keith LeClaire Classic, 22 years strong, honoring a legendary Hall of Fame coach here at the university. And here in the second inning, the Pirate offense that came to life last night but lost in comeback fashion to Kent State looks to revamp the bats today. This is Austin Irby in a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and if that wind we talked about is now gusting out to right.
It could be one of those nights you're checking your compass, your thermometer, you're checking everything.
Well, I can tell you, you're repeatedly as a coach reminding your outfielders what the wind's doing. And you can see here with Parson, he stayed away from Irby the whole time. That's the first pitch that's even been near the inside part of the plate. So they're not going to try to not give him a chance to get those arms extended, because he can certainly make this park play small to right now.
And 10 home runs for a Pirate team. It's top 50 in the country in long balls this year. There's a home run type swing for Irby, the true freshman. Yeah, from a power department, it's the High Point Panthers across the state. 21 home runs to lead Division I baseball this year. And there's a walk.
You know, I would bet as a trivia question at your local pub, that would probably get you a free brew, because I don't know that many teams are going to pull High Point University out as the current home run leader.
Panthers, the reigning Big South champions, under a new coaching staff, replacing the Cozart regime. A lot of good baseball here in North Carolina. We've seen what up and down these two states, not only regional participants, but regional hosts the last 5 years. No state with more regional hosts than here in North Carolina. This is John Collins, the DH, taking a big hack. What a debut from a pitch hitting standpoint for Collins.
He came in last night batting 1,000. His batting average has dropped to 429, barreled a couple balls, obviously smoked that last ball that grounded to the double play to end the game last night, but he finds the barrel more often than not.
Collins with that red-hot 429 clip puts him in the top 10 of the American in batting average. Jake Doerr of Flora at Atlantic, and keep an eye on the Owls. 8-1 start for FAU. Doerr's hitting .520 in the first 3 weeks. Collins has been a pitch hit specialist all year until last night for Cliff Godwin. Watches a pickoff attempt.
You know, when Collins, for his size, a big guy, 5th year out of Boston College, catcher, not a ton of loft in that swing. It's a lot of hard line drives, and even the ball out of the park the other night was just a laser.
Now he gets hit by a laser. 2 on, nobody out for East Carolina.
Something that East Carolina takes an awful lot of pride in. And you come to practice and they give points in addition to runs, but they give points for toughness. They give points for hustle and different effort plays. And one of the things they are big on is not getting out of the way of the opportunity to take a hit by pitch. And Big John Collins takes that one, and you know, it still hurts a little bit, but he's on first base.
The Boston College transfer continues a big inning here. Roger Vergara, who's moved to the outfield tonight, gets an opportunity in the 6th spot. He looks to bunt, and a good small ball situation. Only play to first, and there's the opening out.
So all he wanted to do there is set the table, pass it down to Walker Barron, and Walker Barron has done nothing but have good at-bats all year, even kind of as the Pirates had scuffled a little bit offensively. Walker Barron had found a way to string together positive opportunities at the plate. So
anything to the early use of small ball by Coach Palumbo down there at third?
I think it's just, hey, we need to get a lead here. You got our guy on the mound. You know, Jenkins is pitching well at this point, and maybe a little confidence. I think more of that is probably the effort to stay out of the double play.
And you noted Walker Barron's success with runners on base this year. He's hitting .375. Has excelled in these situations. Facing a talented youngster, Grant Parson, all Missouri Valley a year ago as a freshman. Way up in the zone there. That's been Parsons' calling card. An 8-to-1 K to walk ratio, and that carried into his freshman year as well. But now a walk, a hit by pitch. A little sticky situation for the 6'5 righty. Gives up a broken bat ground ball and a rollout to give the Pirates the first run.
Yeah, I think it just came out of his hand, but it certainly did look like a broken bat. It flew out of Walker Barron's hand. And you know, when you watch Walker swing the bat, he's got a little bit of a different look. And you'll see here he kind of works down immediately into the zone, and it just gets away from him.
You know, good point. A broken wood bat,
yeah,
a productive
might have
ground
been a broken wood, but that's one of those deals where that ball is so far in on his hands. It was everything he could do to make an effort to get inside of it, but he manages to do so, scores a run, and the Pirates take a 1-0 lead.
More importantly for East Carolina, productive at bat and an early lead here in the second inning. This will lead to the bottom third of the order. Drew Downs, who's earned a start, gets a second career opportunity. 0 for 3 in his young tenure, the true freshman. And takes ball 2.
Really good take there, quality pitch by Parson.
Downs from Cary, North Carolina, played at the Pro 5 Baseball Academy that has been pumping players out in the college ranks the last 3 years, including the 2-0 that's popped up down the line. Sutherland running towards the corner and can't secure it.
Tell you what, he had it in his glove for just a second, made contact with the wall and lost it. Kind of flipped him over. We'll get a really good look at this here. Great camera work by the guys. You'll see he kind of snow cones it for just a second. And it came out before he made contact with the wall, but there's the contact with the wall.
That gives new life to Drew Downs here with 2 outs. And the Cary native lays off. Part of that to me defensively feels like a lack of awareness and practice of where the fence is. So you're going full speed and then just losing slight concentration.
Yeah, those last few steps, and remember it's all turf here, so you don't have the feel of hitting the crush and run or gravel that a lot of wanted tracks give you.
It leads to a walk, and the inning continues as Downs is on for the first time.
Very uncharacteristic of Parson. 3 free passes now in this inning, 2 via walk and 1 on the hit by pitch.
Parson only had 1 walk all year entering this inning. And here's the 9 spot as the folks in the jungle look to get a little more rowdy tonight. 1-0 lead for the East Carolina Pirates, who went 29-6 a year ago at home. Right now 3-3 through the first couple of weeks. This is Alex Boucher, and he lays off.
I tell you see that discernible pause and actually hesitation there for Parson as he comes set. Effort there is to freeze the hitter, right? It's kind of to change the rhythm, get him locked up, and try to create a little tension, which typically slows up hitters. So changing his looks along with keeping the runner at first base close.
An Indiana State staff that's had a bugaboo in this department. 15 stolen bases allowed, and Virginia Tech ran all over the Sycamores last night. 10 runs, 12 hits. Pirates threatening here in the second and keeping more tabs on the running game.
And maybe had Downs leaning just a little bit. 1 ball, no strike count, 2 outs. Pretty good action pitch here. Effort to shorten up Boucher, maybe a hit and run.
3rd time's the charm.
And what I mean by shorten up, you know, Boucher's had obviously hasn't been off to the start he wants. Swings get a little long. When you put on a hit and run, the emphasis is on the hitter to really shorten his swing and just put the ball in play on the ground hard where it's pitched. So great idea to help a guy maybe work his way through a slump. It's almost counterintuitive ever. You think, hey, he's in a slump, I don't want him swinging and missing, but you have a runner like Downs over there that gives you a chance to swipe the bag anyway.
Yeah, any thought to pushing Downs here if you're ECU?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously they've shown that they're going to try to push the issue all the way around. Let's see if it's a good count to do it in.
Now, if this was the big leagues, that would be illegal, but in college you can pick off consecutively. It does put a lot of pressure on your defense, slowing down this pace and rhythm that Parson had been working with. This time runners hold, and a ball off the foot of Boucher.
I tell you what, Parson is devoid of any emotion up there. He's he almost like, you know, it's like, hey, dude, are you having fun up there? You're playing baseball, but you kind of solemn look.
Yeah, big piece of the Sycamore staff a year ago as a freshman, but he's facing an intense environment tonight. Some self-inflicted wounds have not helped that in his 3rd start of year 2.
No, his thought here is if I can leave it at 1 and mitigate this this opportunity the Pirates have, that's almost a success with all things considered. But I think Boucher's got other ideas.
Alex Boucher, the shortstop for the Pirates, waits in the 2-1. And a good bender for strike 2.
You know, nothing overpowering for Parson from a velocity standpoint. That 90-mile-an-hour fastball has a little ride, and then you see the wrinkle there, change in speed, and just kind of a dude that again, is a pitcher, not going to overpower you necessarily.
Now the 2-2. Just inside. And a full count, maybe some action coming here for East Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know if that froze Boucher or that was just that good of a take, but this is a really quality pitch, and there's that fastball with the late life on it, down in on the arm side.
Here comes pitch 34 in a big second inning. Runners moving. Popped up. Room for Garris. And Indiana State tight ropes through some trouble here in the second. 1 run for East Carolina on an RBI ground out, and the Pirates score first. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. A special week for the former ECU Pirate himself. Cliff Godwin earned his 400th win on Wednesday during the midweek. 4-time Coach of the Year in this conference, has so many ties to the LeClaire family. You see the special 23 hats the Pirates wearing tonight. And just a big tournament for Cliff Godwin, looking to solidify himself not only with 400 wins, but as a emblematic piece of Pirate Nation.
Yeah, and I think you said it best. It's more of the significance of the the recognition of Coach LeClaire and all that he's meant to this program, and quite frankly, the game of baseball. And we talked about it a little bit last night, but the coaching tree, the roots run very, very deep with Coach LeClaire, and Coach Godwin just a small part of it.
Neat ties that bring both those tremendous coaches together. And here's Coach Godwin's team, fresh off a trip to a region final. A good start for Sean Jenkins on the mound. Yesterday was the bullpen that did the Pirates in a tough job in the 7th inning. Today the starters looking to revamp that. And that pitch stays outside to Jeremy Martinez, the catcher. You see the signature hats in honor of Coach LeClaire. Keith, who served here from 98 to 01 and to 02, in fact. The legendary figure in this community.
Tell you what, that is one difficult lid to come by. It's a you're not gonna. They did some that were for the fans, but the authentic LeClaire hat is hard to get your hands on.
There's a swing and a miss, and a good pitch for Jenkins, honoring a coach who now 22 years into this tournament, unfortunately passed in 2006 after a long battle with ALS, and a good chance to raise awareness for his cause and the family, not only this week, but throughout the college baseball community. Jenkins put on a good show in honor of everyone here in purple and gold tonight, pounding the zone.
I know they'd really like to see him manage that pitch count and try to get as deep in this thing as possible. Last night, great outing again from Ethan Norby, going much deeper in that game than we've seen Pirate pitching to this point.
Really good breaking ball. Martinez, the product of Caguas, Puerto Rico, fights it off. True freshman from the same Puerto Rican baseball academy that's produced double-figure big league players. It's been a great pipeline of young talent, and Martinez getting his first crack at the college game this year, hitting .357. And now a full count. You see all the 23 jerseys being worn with the special hats. That's a great way to honor Coach LeClaire this weekend. That's a signature item here in Greenville in these tournaments. So here's the 3-2 pitch. Off the glove of the pitcher. Williams covering. Nice backup to make the play.
Had a few of those last night in the game, and maybe one of the cooler plays I've seen was a little kick save by Norby to his buddy Dixon Williams this time. Maybe a little more traditional off the glove of Jenkins, and Dixon's there to pick him up and collect the out over at first.
Seven up, 7 down for Sean Jenkins. He'll face Thomas Emmerich, who lays off. Emmerich, the grad senior, he's bounced around, followed his coaching staff from Southern Indiana up here to Indiana State. He also was part of a junior college World Series team at Crowder College. It's been a unique path for Emmerich. And he smokes one through the left side. First hit for the Sycamores tonight.
Now, I'm not going to say anything, but I am going to say you had a 7 up, 7 down reference.
My rule of thumb is if you're in the 7th inning, then we don't talk about it.
Well, I don't know. That's
there's always times to provide the facts and details.
I don't think we won't let Sean know that you said that.
I won't tell his parents, no worries.
If your words were only that powerful.
What a great third start, second home appearance for the Hickory native, Sean Jenkins. Top 100 freshman prospect in the country coming into college baseball, and the top American young arm in the AAC. He's looked very comfortable through 2 innings plus tonight. And now he faces Jackson Taylor out of the 9 spot and lays off a good bender.
This is one of those situations where probably a little step off and regroup, and he's in the stretch for the first time tonight, and there you see kind of deep breath and all right, let's reset and get back in this count.
Fastball's chopped foul. Where Taylor fills some huge shoes. Luis Hernandez a year ago had 23 home runs at that first base position for Indiana State. A 44-win team. Coach Archuleta gets the job. As Coach Hannes heads down to South Florida looking to rebuild that program here in the American.
Again, talking to Coach Archuleta today, he really kind of waxed poetic about his 18 years at Southern Indiana, and that, quite frankly, although it was a move up in from Division II to Division I, he really had to contemplate that choice because he was so committed and did love that program. So great success he had there, obviously, again with the 2 natties.
Little hit and run ground ball foul between Indiana State, between what Campbell has done, and then Coastal Carolina. Those are 3 big mid-major programs that had to revamp coaching staffs and rebuild this year.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of movement, and the crowd from South Florida is now at Creighton, and Creighton's had some success this year. So it's been a little bit of a merry-go-round.
Let's open the door for this young Indiana State staff coming in at 5-4. And that pitch was called a late strike 3. Our first look at Brian Marine tonight with the ring up.
Yeah, Taylor didn't like that one. Had a little something to say to Marine on his way back, and maybe has a little bit of an argument here. Pitch does appear to be up, but nice job by Walker Barron to bring it down into the zone and give the umpire a good look at it.
We've seen the spring success as the Pirate Nation rings up another K of the ABS system in the pros, and I'm curious if that ever translates down to the college game with the automated challenges of balls and strikes.
I think the problem there is cost across all of Division I baseball because there's such a variance in budgets and leagues and different things. So if it does make its way in, it may be by league, and you may see it start at the top with, SEC, ACC type programs. But yeah, it would be curious. Those things that happen in professional ball normally end up trickling their way down to college baseball, and so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
It's had great success at the big league level here in spring training. And it's also efficient. I think it's what fans want, a quick call and an easy decision. Back to the top of the lineup for Indiana State, as Eli Gibson pops one behind us.
As I say that and look at the fact of all the camera angles that are available here for instant replay, and we see that come into play so many times in games. Who would have thought that would be so common now, at the collegiate level? But it's everywhere.
Gibson pokes one to the right side. Nice hit here with 2 outs. And a little station to station for the Sycamores.
Yeah, respecting Drew Downs out there in right field, and coach holds him up there with 2 outs. Kind of rule of thumb, don't want to make the first or third, so holds him up and takes a crack with the 2-spot hitter. Downs with a good strong throw here just to make sure.
Junior college transfer Eli Gibson, a huge start to his first year, hitting above 300 with men on bases. And here's Carter Beck, the player to watch, the Missouri Valley leader in RBI entering the weekend. Takes a huge hack there.
Obviously that, Beck coming to the plate figures in greatly into the coach's decision down at third base to hold that runner. You got your best guy with wind blowing out to right and 2 guys on. Beck already has a couple home runs on the season, so we're going to give him a crack at it for sure.
Carter Beck, who was an NAIA standout at the University of Mary, an All-American at the NAIA level, and making the most of this first-year impact. Faces a stud prospect here in Jenkins, who challenges him with a fastball.
Yeah, really good pitch. Inside fastball again. Going to be tough to handle. NAIA baseball is something that you just don't hear much about, but some really good players there. Spartanburg Methodist here used to be a junior college in the Region 10, which is where Pitt Community College, Lewisburg, a lot of the local JUCOs are, but they have now gone 4-year NAIA.
If you build them, players will be found at any level. Here's a ground ball to second. Williams has to bobble. Quick throw, but late.
Beck's a good runner.
And the error loads the bases.
Just a little too quick. Dixon that ball eats him up a little bit. He tries to make the adjustment. See it here, kind of a bounder, fairly routine play, and gets in on him, and Beck's able to leg it out. No need to review that one.
And as we saw in the Florida Stetson game earlier this week, placing your foot on the right bag is very important. He was on that orange base. If you touch the white on a bang-bang, you're technically ruled out. One of the nuances here of the new rules in baseball.
Yeah, I guess official ruling, and I say this just talking with a member of the NCAA, they have a right, as long as their foot touches any part of the orange bag, so even if it catches the divide between the two, but as long as they touch the orange bag, they're safe, they're good.
Bases loaded for Miguel Cantu, and he hits one hard foul.
The other kind of caveat to that is if there's a defensive play over there, the defensive player does have a right to adjust, and if he contacts the orange bag, then the base runner does have the right to the white bag. So it's, kind of.
It's a game of Tetris.
Based on the situation, it can be interesting. Again, I don't know why we didn't just go to a bigger bag and that be that.
We'll have a podcast about that this week. The 1-1 pitch is popped up on the infield. Dixon Williams there. And that ball finally comes down to earth, ending a bases-loaded threat. Sean Jenkins walks in and out of trouble here in the third. His Pirates to the plate next.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
There's only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, and we will. It's what separates us from the rest. There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina, honoring a longtime coach and a legend, Keith LeClaire, at this LeClaire Classic. So the tournament dates back to the early 2000s. It's been an opportunity for East Carolina to honor ALF's research, Coach LeClaire, and an opportunity to welcome some great programs, including Arizona State, NC State, Ole Miss into town this week. A 45-game winner from a year ago, Indiana State, and a weekend that folks in this area have so much importance, excitement, that they want to honor the legend and bring some good baseball to town.
Yeah, look, I remember back when Pat Murphy brought that Arizona State team in. Pat Murphy, now the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. But, man, it was freezing cold. Carolina was in it. It was just, all these things, there's been snow. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of where were you when such and such game happened. A lot of memories associated with this tournament. Right
now, Virginia Tech at 2-0. Coach Sheff's club has a chance to win the tournament tomorrow. Now, ECU and Indiana State both at 0-1. They could try to play spoiler the rest of the weekend. And this is the top of the Pirate lineup. Alex Peltier. That is a nasty breaking ball, 2-2.
So I've just noticed something. We saw the bat fly away from Walker Barron earlier, and then Downs had the same thing where the top hand slipped off, and you just saw that on the swing with Peltier. I think it's a true indication of how good the stuff is from Parson.
Oh, it's so good. It almost crossed up his catcher, Martinez, there.
We'll take a look at it. You'll see what I'm talking about. He takes a cut, and it just kind of, I got to get inside of it, and there he loses the grip. That's the third Pirate hitter that we've already seen that happen to, and we're only in the third inning.
That time he takes strike three, a good fastball. And yeah, between every pitch, Peltier was grabbing that pine tar in his bat to get any bit of grip.
Yep, and kind of to see Peltier strike out twice in a game and then finish his game last night, so last three at-bats with strikeouts, certainly not very typical for Peltier. He's been such a good hitter and such a strong addition to this Pirate lineup. But again, I just think you're looking at really good stuff from Parson.
Reigning freshman of the year in the Missouri Valley. Dotting it up again with his fastball. Mixes in the two-seam well. Also, it's not just pure velo and great spin rate. He's been dotting up locations.
No, it's actually anything but, great velo. 88, 89, 90, but the action on it is what the difference. I mean, that's 89 miles an hour that jumped on Dixon Williams like it was 95.
Last year's ace, Brennan Cutts, has graduated. Luke Hayden in the draft as well. Two starters that went 14-3 combined for the Sycamores. And the third starter from last year, this is the young sophomore Parson, dotting it up the zone.
I'm going to bet you he's probably going to go back to that fastball down and away outer half of the zone and hope it just runs off.
Off the end of the bat, Williams pokes one, a two-hit day for Dixon, his fourth hit of the tournament.
It's one of the spots there. going back, he had the one inning where he struggled with the free passes, but not many spots missed. I saw the catcher set up, and Parson threw it all the way across the plate. Dixon Williams gets a grip on it, but there again, you see another Pirate hitter, and that's indicative of them really trying to pull their hands inside to get the barrel to the baseball. That's called being just strong enough by Dixon Williams.
Multiple hitters having some grip issues, and we're curious if that will play a factor later tonight. Runner taking off, bouncing pitch. Great jump for Williams. He easily steals it. Keep in mind, Riley Johnson, the top base stealer from a year ago, is coming back from a hip pointer situation. You see the speed of Williams.
Yeah, and he does. Gets a great jump, and you're right. That one's stolen about as easily as you'll see.
That's an element of this Pirate offense that hasn't clicked just yet. 8 stolen bases with this most recent one. A team that had over 80 steals last season.
Well, and a lot of that goes hand in hand with, obviously getting base runners on and then being in situations where you're willing to risk it, and playing from behind, and some of the things that the Pirates have had to do just not conducive with trying to swipe a bag.
Williams steals his 3rd of the year, now at 2nd. A lot of attention from Parson, who threw that ball with 1 second, and then Wallace lost grip of the bat as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, the only thing I could gather, obviously they got plenty of pine tar. I've seen them use spray. I've seen them, use the stick, and that's just stuff. That's just good action on those pitches for Parson.
So now the 2-1. And the hitters count here for Wallace.
Parson must have a heck of a clock in his head, because he will take this thing down to 3, even 2 in 1 second as he's holding.
There's the clock at 5 seconds left. And Parson gets it off, but not even close. A walk puts 2 on.
I wonder if there's a movement from the catcher that is telling him, hey, you got 3 seconds to throw it. There's got to be some type of indicator. I can't imagine that he's that good at keeping time up there.
Especially while staring at the runner.
Yeah,
right. Is the shortstop giving him a signal? Who's relaying that information?
Be a lot to think about. Let's see if we can pick up on something here.
There are clocks in the outfield and behind the plate, but there's only a couple of clocks. It's not everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. It's not in the typical line of sight.
There's the first pitch heater. Austin Irby, who walked and scored the lone Pirate run of the game, now digs in. Takes inside.
Yeah, I don't see anything from the catcher that there's any kind of tell. It might just be a feel thing. And, I almost wonder, you see him looking down at the pitch comm and the depending on what brand they use, go route or whatever, you can have things on there, hold till 2 seconds, hold till it can say whatever you program it to say. So I wonder if that's part of their philosophy and how, what their pitch calling philosophy is.
Irby, the true freshman from Virginia Beach, whose brother Michael has been a part of the program as a pitcher here recently. But Austin hits in 4 of his last 5. But you see the note. Has not been as clutch as Cliff Godwin would like here with runners in scoring position. And there's a 3-1 count.
Looked like Irby may have thought that was ball 4 for a second.
Austin Irby coming off his first career home run against Old Dominion, helping his coach Cliff Godwin earn 400 career wins here in Greenville. Here's up for the 3-1 from Parson, and takes a walk. Remember, Grant Parson had 1 walk in 15 innings all year entering today. Now he's got 4.
Certainly a big part of the storyline. 4 walks and a hit by pitch, so 5 freebies, and that's very uncharacteristic. Really down there and just kind of yanks that one.
4 walks and a hit batter will bring out a quick meeting with Gordon Cardenas and his pitching staff. Coach Cardenas, who was a huge piece of Southern Indiana's success with Archuleta.
We'll send some Sycamore scurrying down to the bullpen. I certainly don't think this trip will last long enough to get somebody hot, because there has been nobody down there until this last hitter.
In theory, though, do you plant sycamores in the bullpen or do you run them to the pen?
That's a question only you would ask and only you could answer, buddy.
You let those flowery trees blossom with a few innings of warm-up tosses. One of the more unique mascots, them and the Stanford Cardinal here in college baseball. Bases juice for the Pirates. John Collins up at the DH spot. Takes a huge hack for strike one.
There are a few things sure in life that are absolute guarantees. One of those is that John Collins is going to get off a swing in the first 2 or 3 pitches, no matter what.
The Boston College transfer homered Monday in the loss to top 10 Carolina. Not afraid to take a huge hack. At Boston College, just 12 starts. He was a backup catcher for Todd Interdonato, who came by way of Wofford and won the SoCon multiple times. But now with some new life in the American, Collins back-to-back starts. Another big swing, 1-2.
You know, for a guy that does work so early in counts, only 1 strikeout on the season.
The 1-2 popped up to right, challenging Garris. Nice catch. Runner tagging, really good throw, but cut off, and the Pirates score.
Yeah, you could see the communication with the dugout there. That one looked like it had a chance. It looked like a throw that should have been let go. Take another look at it here. Off the bat, I would have thought there's no chance that this is going to be a sac fly. Right fielder gets off a good throw, and first baseman just cuts it off. I'm not real sure about that one. A little better angle here. Looked like it was going to be on the money, but.
And that's the catcher's job to say, hey, if that ball's going left or right.
There's actually some rules there. If it's above your waist, if it, different things and how they work on it. And that looked like one that was just right around the belt. It was going to carry right into the tag zone. But now you're right. If it's left or right and it moves you, then then you're going to cut. But that was one that I think probably should have been left alone. The catcher can call a cut if he doesn't say anything. It's to be left alone.
Good throw by Garris, and the Pirates take advantage, cashing in Dixon Williams. So here's Roger Vergara with 2 outs. It's just a piece there.
I'll tell you what, Vergara's an interesting guy. Played in the junior college, the Division II Junior College World Series last year, and is a guy that Coach Palumbo kind of describes as a kind of free spirit, upbeat, super exciting. Matter of fact, he said that when he and his dad came in for a visit, it was one of the best visits that Coach Palumbo had ever been a part of, and they'd worried about him getting away from that a little bit, but now it's kind of settled back in and actually seems to be a little more enthusiastic.
Wants to start in the outfield tonight. He's a pounder of the chest. You see the energy from Vergara, free spirit, you noted.
He's certainly animated.
It's a little bit of the juice maybe this offense needs right now. After a 6-run night yesterday, but trying to find their early start. Parson 1-2, way up.
We see more and more programs in the players, the animation, again, things that we didn't used to maybe grow up as part of our game, where it was kind of you went about your business and did your deal, but it certainly is a big part of the game now, and it's kind of trickled down from the big leagues as well.
So here comes a 3-2 count. Even the demeanor of Vergara, that's got to speak so much confidence to his Pirate offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely trying to pump himself up and stay tough in this at bat. He's still talking to himself.
Payoff pitch. Vergara chases, and Parson with the heat.
Yeah, tall fastball there. Vergara swings at one out of the zone and quarter strike 3 and kind of lets him off easy there.
East Carolina gets a run with a sac fly in a 2-0 lead. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Tracy Archuleta inherits a great program here for the Sycamores. Tremendous success at Southern Indiana, two-time Division II national champs. And it's unique in that transition to the D1 level, not only from a roster standpoint, but player development. A coach that's certainly primed for success here with the Sycamores.
Yeah, scholarship management, all the things that go into it. I asked him earlier today is, from an NIL standpoint, are they competitive? And he said, yeah, we're competitive for the conference and for where we are. So they're committed to success at Indiana State for this baseball program.
Sycamores, who had a top 25 RPI a year ago, made it to the Kentucky regional final in Lexington. And a lot of the new faces, including Carlos Pena, taking a strike. Pena and these Sycamore bats put up 55 runs in the opening weekend. Took care of Northeastern last week, and now in a dogfight with the Pirates tonight, looking to both teams to get a win in this Coach LeClaire Classic. Also, if you're a fan of the Golden Hour, Mike, now's the perfect time to get a selfie with the sunset clicking. It looks good for the gram, I've been told. So does that rocket up the middle. A little bobble, and stuck in the jersey.
Shirt.
I wouldn't put that picture on Instagram, but wow, the ball's literally stuck. A wedgie.
Yep, stuck in his shirt. Now this is interesting. I would assume, I've never seen this before, the beauty of baseball, but I'm assuming that's just a base hit.
Yeah, it can't be an error.
Yeah, I mean, there's no error to be charged, and I certainly don't think you would penalize the runner. I would think it's
maybe the buttons are a little too loose.
It just is what it is. I think it just squirted in there. And
Merry Christmas. Look at that gif you just found in your shirt. Yeah, rolled a base hit. Now that's a fun moment.
Well, it depends on how you're looking at it. It's not real fun if you're the pitcher and you just had out number one of the inning.
Yeah, Alex Boucher said, look what I found.
I have all ideas we may see that one again somewhere. That may turn up as a not top 10 or something.
That's a souvenir I think should go in the Baseball Hall of Fame at some point, at least here in East Carolina. The hidden ball trick that gets stuck in your shirt. With Mike Mullis, I'm the effervescent and idea-filled EvanBudrovich. A tough break for Sean Jenkins, who thought he had out one. And a really good stab. Now the runner goes to second, and Williams gets the tag.
I'll tell you what, that's a great play all the way around for Walker Barron. To get to that ball, number one, is pretty impressive. And then to have the insight to get off a throw. Big block there. You'll see the throw here. It takes Dixon. He's got to get up top of the vertical. Comes down and puts a tag on him. Boy,
and I think Indiana State might challenge this.
Yeah, it's bang, bang. Let's see what we get here. He's got him.
You know what? From that angle, I think he does. You're right.
He's got him. Got the tag on him. Really, really good play. I mean, athleticism.
Dixon Williams' spider senses must be tingling. This kid can jump out of a building.
Again, nice play there. He goes up and gets that one and gets back down. I mean, that the play, the block, or actually more like a pick by Walker Barron behind the plate off the turf, and then gets that throw out of there. And this is, this is the old saying, ball don't lie, right? So this you get a kind of get a free base, or not kind of, you get a free bag, and looks like it's going to be erased by a great play by the Pirates.
And that's what Pena's asking. He said, hey, Boucher, how did that ball get stuck in your shirt? Because that's what everyone's been talking about this inning. I think Alex is still a little mystified as Williams appears to have the tag at second.
Can you see the big pick there? And Dixon Williams to the top of the vert, comes down, and I think he gets him just before Pena can reach the bag. You'll see the tag get on him right here.
Yeah, watch that foot and watch the glove right there.
There, he is out.
There's the separation.
Again, it's the standard of is there enough to overturn it, and I think the answer would be no. Another look at it. I think the angle we had, the last angle we had, was probably the most telling. But even there, you could see he's clearly out.
This is incredible athleticism, too, by Williams. And that call is confirmed, so an out at second base. On a weekend where the Pirates won 5 individual titles in the indoor track and field at the American Conference. Might have to sign up Dixon Williams for the high jump.
It's like Indiana State has 1 challenge remaining.
And then umpire-initiated challenges from the 8th inning on can be a factor. Nick Sutherland in a 2-0 count. Good hop for Colby Wallace, and he makes the play.
I'll tell you what, Colby just continues to play really good defense down there. That ball, that's one of those that just kind of sticks to the ground. And, you really don't get a ton of hop there. And Colby ranging to his glove side, and nice play. Has a little pump there, and money over to first base.
A much more conventional ground ball for the East Carolina defense. Keegan Garris, who made a great throw in right, but was cut off, and that made it 2-0. East Carolina takes a strike. I don't know if they keep track of who leads the country in outfield assists, but I'd love to know what impact arms we're going to see this year throughout the country. As this ball will be an infield assist. Dixon Williams there, and every infielder involved in the 4th inning. From Boucher's shirt to Williams' leaping ability. An interesting inning of defense for East Carolina. Beautiful night at Clark LeClaire Stadium, honoring some of the MLB legends here in Greenville. Gavin Williams, the flamethrower, Connor Norby, who's made an impact in his 2nd year in the Bigs, and Alec Burleson, a dynamic hitter and pitcher back in his collegiate days, but more of an offensive threat for the Cardinals. Great night for college baseball. Matchup of Missouri Valley and American Athletic Conference. Tremendous programs. Both teams combined for 90 wins a year ago, and here's the sophomore Grant Parson, who navigated through some trouble in the 4th, facing the bottom 3rd of the Pirate order.
Yeah, if you look at the number of free passes that Parsons issued, you would think, 2-0 is probably not a bad spot for him to be right now. Only allowed 2 hits, so he's kind of scattered those and gotten away with it. And let's see if the Pirate hitters can take advantage here.
Here's a pop-up for Walker Barron into shallow right, and an easy play for Garris. 1 quick out. Isn't that fun? A young kid sitting in the highest seat in the house, riding down. It's you're living your best life. The community that loves college baseball here in Greenville, always in the top 25 in attendance across the country. Another 4,000 plus expected tonight, as there's a ball to first-year freshman Drew Downs.
Yeah, tell you what, pretty good way to spend a Saturday evening and come out to the ballpark, still get home in time to maybe cook on the grill.
and enjoy what's been a fantastic Clemson-South Carolina series. A little SEC, ACC challenge. Clemson's won the first 2 games on that weekend. So we get some unique non-conference matchups to open up March. There's ball 4.
Pirates will take on Virginia Tech tomorrow at 3:30, and right now we're sitting here at 70-ish degrees. Tomorrow's high forecasted for about 45 to 47, so it'll be quite a difference.
A perfect spring night so far here in Greenville. Alex Boucher, top of this order. Let's get a sense of what 90 miles an hour is like coming from right behind home plate. Parson using every second of that pitch clock.
It is truly uncanny how he holds it that long. And I mean, I would think at some point it would be to the detriment of the pitcher, right? I mean, you as a coach, you want your pitchers to stay in rhythm, and his rhythm is there is no rhythm. It's just kind of changing up that timing, and I guess their feeling is that it's more detrimental to the hitter.
This is popped up and will drift out of play. It's not like a Mark Burley who would utilize the clock and the timing to help himself throw hitters off. It is a strategic working every second if you're Grant Parson.
Yeah, and listen, I fully understand, mixing, varying your timing and looks as far as base runners go, so their feet get heavy, they kind of get settled over there, less likely to get a good jump. But, it's he certainly takes it to the max capacity of what the clock will give him.
And that is one way to neutralize a good offense to a certain extent. But to your point, the lack of effective control has hurt Parson a little bit tonight. Nearly an equal number of balls and strikes through 3 innings. And he misses again.
Boucher at the plate, you get the little boo chants that are going on out in the jungle, and they maintain that. I don't know if a chant's the right word, but kind of a hum. They maintain that through his AB.
Boucher gives the crowd a reason to cheer. There's a base hit. And first and second for the Pirates.
Tell you what, off the bat, I was a little concerned about Grant Parsons' health there. That ball was a smoke right back through the box. Parson doing a pretty good job to get out of the way of it. That was at the face. That was certainly a business decision. If he would have caught it, it would have been purely reactionary, but Boucher got all that one through the box. I'm going to guess that's probably a mid-90 exit velocity. That thing was smoked.
Here comes a pitching change for Indiana State. 3 innings of navigating traffic, and Grant Parsons' day's done. New arm for the Sycamores will come in here in day 2 of the Keith LeClaire Classic. And we'll take that change. When we come back, we'll introduce you to Jacob Spencer entering the ballgame here in the 4th. Jacob Spencer, the Kellogg Community College transfer, will enter this ball game. 7 relief appearances a year ago for Jacob out of the bullpen. He was in the mid-4s last year. And now an opportunity to bridge the gap after a short start for Grant Parson.
Yeah, you see the 10.13 ERA there. Obviously, early in the season, a lot of opportunity to drive that down. Only 5 1/3 innings pitched at this point, but kind of maybe a little Noah Syndergaard feel there from back in the day with the long hair, you know. But he right-hander. Just quite frankly, don't know a ton about him, man. Watching him pitch here, though, he's kind of in the low 80s and low 90s and off-speed stuff in the
I'm
in the
getting
80s.
like a Dustin May, Noah Syndergaard balance here with the hair flow.
See both of those.
If you got great hair, you got to let it fly, and his bio shot on the website is fantastic. Putting on that Troy Polamalu vibes with the long locks. He needs a shampoo conditioner NIL deal somewhere out there if you're watching in the Indiana State area.
I will tell you, a very dangerous hitter at the plate here in Peltier, and the reason I say that, again, a guy that's had his struggles today, but he's just too good of a hitter to stay quiet. This could be a little action here for the Pirates.
Top of this ECU lineup, and that pitch sneaks away from Martinez. This has been an area that's been a struggle for Indiana State this year. .960 fielding percentage, replacing 8 starters. A lot of new faces as that pitch stays up. Lose from the first team all-conference alone. Luis Hernandez over at first. Daniel Pasella, all-conference outfielder, and then Brennan Cutts, one of the best starters in the country. That's what's the task for Coach Archuleta and his team's in a 3-0 count.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is come in here at base runners and go 3-0 quickly. I'm sure Peltier will be seeing one here.
He takes ball 4, and that loads the bases. 3 straight innings, the Pirates have had bases loaded.
This is kind of a one pitch, one spot, like A+ swing in a hot zone kind of situation for Dixon after Spencer delivered 4 straight balls, and quite frankly, none of them very even really all that close. So let's see if he serves him up a cookie if Dixon can take advantage.
There's the cookie, and it's sprayed out of play. Another 2-hit night for Williams, anchoring this Pirate lineup. 4 hits now in this tournament.
It's amazing how quickly the worm turns when you know, wasn't that long ago Dixon was mired in about a 150, 160 batting average. Now has got it up to 303 with a couple hits tonight. And
He gets hit by a pitch. And with no swing, it's 3-0, adding on to this lead.
You know what? This is what a team can't do. You know, whether it's Indiana State or anybody else, the free passes, and then they kind of mount on themselves and still have the bases loaded in this situation with only 1 out. You got a guy at the plate in Colby Wallace that also seems to be figured it out a little bit. So great scoring opportunity here for the Pirates. Jacob Spencer has his hands full.
One of the young arms out of the pen. Spencer in year 2, able to pound the zone there. This has been the test for Indiana State pitching. A high walk rate, a lot of hit by pitches tonight. Nothing has come easy. And here's Colby Wallace, who's reached base once. That bullpen is warming up extremely quickly now for the Sycamores. Wallace the other way at base hit. Colby pads his RBI numbers up to 4. Make it 5 as ECU scores 2.
Yeah, again, good signs there from both Dixon Williams and Colby Wallace. And Colby just takes that fastball and barrels it up into right field. Easy 2 RBIs. Nothing crazy. just kind of beat the shift there and drives his teammates in. Pirates take a 5-0 lead.
Good piece of hitting from the Pirates, extending this 3-run fourth inning and putting a lot of pressure on the Indiana State bullpen. Here's Austin Irby, who's walked twice. Takes a good first pitch there.
This is certainly the part of the Pirate lineup that Jacob Spencer, can't take any time off. Irby and Collins here back to back. Both have been relatively hot as of late and have some power numbers.
Irby, who was ranked a top 10 prospect out of Virginia from Cox High School in the Virginia Beach area. He's had a good week, hits in 5 of his last 6, and takes another pitch down. And that's been by design for this East Carolina team. Nearly 20 new freshmen for Cliff Godwin. A lot of fresh faces. He believes in this freshman class.
Yeah, they're talented. I mean, talented for sure. And you look at a kid again like Peltier. I mean, he's certainly proven he was ready to play.
There's a huge swing from Irby, fighting one off. Because in today's college baseball, the days of first-year talents is not as common as in the past. And for Cliff Godwin to not go as portal heavy, believe in his recruiting structure, it's opened some doors now in week 3.
Yeah, he plugged some holes there with the portal, and maybe at some point decides to get a little bit more aggressive in the portal to not have the situation where he's so young.
That ball is touched to center. It'll lead to a sac fly and a 6-0 lead for East Carolina.
Yeah, to finish up that thought, I mean, a situation where you kind of have to rebuild every year as you're going to have players depart. I mean, it's just part of the game. It's part of the nature of college athletics right now. But be interested to follow this young crowd and hopefully get a chance to watch at least most of them grow up here in Greenville. And
to your point, Ethan Norby, who last year was a reliever All-American, second team as a freshman. And some of the young pieces, Jacob Dutton here in the state for NC State, Luke Stevenson, the catcher for Carolina. There are local talents you can find and develop, not just from the JUCO ranks, but at the freshman level. What this young class has done is extend the Pirate lead to 6-0 here in the 4th. John Collins with a big swing. This ball's carrying deep. Collins to the wall. It's gone. What a week for John Collins. 2 bombs at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
Yeah, all big John Collins does is hit the baseball hard. A little oppo tank there, and that's about as high as you'll see him hit a baseball. Like I said earlier, he's normally just a line drive machine. He led this team in the fall on exit velocities on the TrackMan through, all that stuff, track through BP and different times. And
now that is an upward swing trajectory.
Yeah, and some of that is the fact of the oppo pitch away, and it's not necessarily a poetic swing, but it's effective.
Here's first pitch contact and a great scoop over at first for Emmerich to end the inning. That's it, East Carolina. 6 runs in the 4th. John Collins, the oppo shot. We'll come back to the 5th after this timeout. Sean Jenkins gets plenty of run support, including the 2nd home run in the purple and gold for John Collins. Going back to last inning, John Collins, after the home run, hit that young student right there with the pink phone. Just saying, hey, that's where I got tapped on the back. Collins with the moonshot home run, and the East Carolina student section having a blast today.
Yeah,
now she's going to put it on her own TikTok.
Glad to see her smiling. It would have been something else if she'd have caught it in the hood there on her jacket.
Now that'd have been bonus points. With Mike Mullis and his nephew Jackson in the booth today, I'm Budrovich. Good evening for college baseball here in Greenville, North Carolina, honoring a longtime coach, Keith LeClaire, in the Keith LeClaire Classic fundraiser for ALS. A big motivating factor for this community, including Audrey LeClaire, part of the family, who threw out a ceremonial first pitch tonight. The freshman arm doing a lot of great work. Sean Jenkins, 4 innings scoreless so far. And he is attacking the zone tonight.
Yeah, what a luxury. He's been given an 8-run lead, and he can go out there and pitch under a much less leveraged situation than his other outings, and kind of just let it go and fill the zone up. Don't worry about solo home runs or base hits. Just throw strikes, no freebies.
Third start for the true freshman, one of his deepest outings in the purple and gold. And he gives up weak contact. That one drifts out of play. Ooh, nice catch on the deflection. Those kids are having the time of their life on the dugout. And it looks like one of the dads over there showing off the hands. Hard contact to short. That ball stays in the glove. And if you missed it earlier, a literal ground ball snuck in the jersey of Boucher. He makes a nice play that time.
I'll tell you what, he shows off that arm. He absolutely has a plus arm. If he gets it in the glove, he gets it across the diamond in a hurry.
A Pirate defense last year that was very good, fielded it in a 977 clip. There's some big shoes to fill here for the Pirates defensively. There's a good strike between Agnos and Barini. This recent run of great shortstops. Cliff Godwin hoping that the young freshman Boucher could be that next spot. What a filthy slider.
Actually, Boucher transferred, 2-year guy, came out of came out of ODU, South Central product, local kid, grew up watching the Pirates.
First year back in his hometown. Good catch there, Mike. Another test for this middle infield. Williams calls for it. And wow, if you're a fan of the 2-5-2, having a couple of homegrown natives in the middle infield, very helpful.
Yeah, Coach Godwin describes those guys as really tight friends, and he feels very confident when they're up the middle, and see a little probably friendly ribbing there, and both of them wanted that one. And
because a play like that, you have to have great intelligence and communication.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those deals where Dixon just had probably a little better angle on it, or at least, a better first step. So he takes it and routine play.
Jackson Taylor in this Indiana State offense. They threatened in the third, but Sean Jenkins has navigated through some pretty low impact innings tonight. He grooves a fastball that snuck through. Williams to the turf. What a nice play defensively. The homegrown Dixon Williams partnering with Alex Boucher for some great plays.
Middle put on a little clinic right there, didn't they? Nice play, Dixon.
Who needs coaches clinics when you can show the homegrown kids getting after it? This is Dixon Williams helping out his talented freshman. Nice way to end the inning. Gotcha. Yep, 10-4. Continuing the Keith LeClaire Classic this weekend, Audrey LeClaire, part of the family. She's getting ready for medical school here on campus throughout the honorary first pitch. And what a jacket, honoring her family and the great coach here in Greenville. That's a fun moment to celebrate with Cliff Godwin, who has so much memory of that LeClaire family.
Yeah, there you see former East Carolina player Eddie Lozer, director of baseball operations now, also was on staff and played for Coach LeClaire. So, yeah, a lot of ties, man, a lot of ties that bind this staff and this community to each other, and really cool to see Lynn and Audrey make their way back, and at times JD when he's available. So pretty cool deal.
The coach, who's that exact picture, is framed here in the facility. You can see it walking up the concourse. A neat way to honor the fallen coach who made such an impact in his short time here at East Carolina.
Shaking hands with former East Carolina great and big leaguer Chad Tracy.
Here's a ground ball to start the 5th inning. That'll test the Indiana State defense, and a good response. Because there's family weekend in terms of football, but I think from a baseball standpoint, this tournament brings out so much passion and excitement for East Carolina fans.
Oh yeah, no question. You know, it obviously is a little more special because of the recognition and the symbolism associated with it. But man, East Carolina baseball is going to bring them out pretty much any time they play.
After hitting around the order in the 4th inning, a quick out to start the 5th, and now Drew Downs considers a bunt and takes outside. To your point, from an atmosphere standpoint, a sellout Monday with Carolina in town, great crowds this week, and that quote certainly signifies the impact of Coach Keith LeClaire, leading his team to a super regional during his time, making a huge impact in the late 90s, early 2000s. Last year, from an attendance standpoint, 4,800 the average. That was 13th in the country. And this place has gone bonkers tonight, including on a hard hit single that deflects off the glove at third. 6 hits now for the Pirates.
You know, for the last 4 plays prior to that error, it'd be interesting to see if they go hit or error. But before this, it was kind of an infield clinic watching these middle infielders for both teams make it look pretty easy.
It is officially ruled a hit, and Aaron Moss has just checked in. His first inning of work out of the bullpen. Jacob Spencer able to clean up things last inning. And Moss, the redshirt junior, who was a bullpen guy a year ago, just 2 2/3 innings, gets a lot more opportunities here in year 4.
Yeah, he's already logged 6 2/3 now into his 7th, and 3 walks, 3 strikeouts in that 6 2/3.
I love the note you don't mention about the boos that are yelled out when Alex Boucher steps in. Such a fun college tradition. Here's a back pick to first base.
Yeah, it's an easy last name to come up with a lot of nicknames for. It's kind of one of those, it's a nickname itself, but Chance and, you know, obviously the occasional last time we were together, you could not resist the Waterboy reference. I'm sure he's never heard that before.
Now, there is a very collegiate nature to this fan base, and any opportunity here in Greenville to capitalize on a fun name, why not? This crowd has seen a red-hot start back-to-back nights. Although East Carolina lost a 6-run lead against Kent State yesterday, today they look to preserve that 8-0 start and add to it here in the 5th. So now the 1-2 stays just inside.
Tell you what, Boucher does a nice job of taking that inside kind of borderline fastball. We've seen it a couple times here.
There sets up a full count. And it's been a busy week for this fan base between Monday, a rain move game, or pardon me, just a move game to Wednesday, and then a full weekend on slate. Kind of feels like a major league homestand here for East Carolina. We're 3-3 here at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Looking out a walk to extend this 5th inning.
And kind of the story of it for the Sycamores has been the free passes and then the opportune and clutch hitting for the Pirates so far today. You know, I think as we look at this lineup that Cliff Godwin put together today, it kind of seems like an effort to go as quote-unquote old as they can go with having so many freshmen, but only 3 freshmen in the lineup today, whereas we've seen as many as 5.
And Alex Peltier with the threat of a bunt. It does create opportunities for third base coach Jeff Palumbo, who slides into that spot for his first year at the third base side. Typically, Cliff Godwin's hold that position down for a decade. Palumbo, the recruiting coordinator, has done a lot of the work bringing in these 20-plus new faces.
You know, as you watch Moss here on the mound for Indiana State, he is absolutely what you would describe as a short armer. Takes it out of the glove right by the ear, almost like more like a catcher would throw, like he would throw a football.
Not a ton of deception for Moss, who gives up a fly ball to center. Nice coverage from Beck to track that one down. Yeah, that arm slot would seem very hitter-friendly in terms of how they pick up the baseball.
Yeah, I don't think, obviously with that swing right there, Peltier was certainly not fooled. That ball's barreled up pretty good, just right in the range of the center fielder. Nothing you can do about that. But yeah, not a ton of deception. He's relying on the change of speed, going from 88, and then he'll drop back down to 80 with a little kind of, maybe a little splitty. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is, but yeah, I would agree with you. He kind of shows it to him for a while.
Dixon Williams was at a red-hot night defensively. And then you compliment in a couple of hits, a hit by pitch. This has been a breakout week for Williams, finding his bat. He looks to bunt with 2 outs. That one foul.
Kind of interesting, and you saw Dixon give Coach Palumbo the go through it again sign. Maybe he was a little bit surprised that.
Are you sure you want me to put with 2 outs?
2 out look here, Coach. I'm 2 for 2 today, and we're up 8. But Coach Palumbo saw something he liked.
There's a big swing for Williams. Beck chasing, still sprinting, tracks it down. Nice effort by the Missouri Valley leader in RBI to make the catch. East Carolina a rare 0 offensively. Let's roll to the 6th. welcome back to Clark LeClaire Stadium here on the Keith LeClaire Classic weekend. It's been all East Carolina so far. And you go back to last night, it was the 7th inning that gave some trouble for the Pirate pitching staff. Tonight they've been excellent. Sean Jenkins mowing down hitters. And he'll look to continue that success at just 66 pitches. Really good mark through 5 innings.
Yeah, really efficient to this point. So he's back out there pitching with the big lead and see if he can face the top of this Indiana State Sycamore lineup, set them down in order here.
What a gorgeous night for college baseball. An ECU team at 3-6 that Cliff Godwin noted we're playing some good ball, but not putting things together in all 3 phases. This could be the kind of outing they need with Virginia Tech tomorrow to wrap up this tournament. And Indiana State will play Kent State in the early session. Jenkins continues to attack the zone. This ball crushed to right center, carrying and off the wall. Good effort, but a stand-up double. Nice start for Indiana State.
I tell you what, Drew Downs did everything he possibly could to try to catch this baseball. And again, it just, hit the right, just kind of carries, stays up there. You see Downs, he's got a bead on it, takes the leap, and
now where did that ball hit?
It hits the top. They may look at this. If they were to look at it, well, it came back in, hit the top of the wall, the very, very top of the wall.
The loudest double you're going to see in front of that student section in right field. Here's Carson Beck, who's been held in check in this tournament, just 1 for 6, but entered the weekend as the Missouri Valley leader in RBI and 3rd in batting average.
And obviously Jenkins doesn't want to give up any runs. He's got a great outing going, but, hey, again, fill the zone up, big guy. You got an 8-run lead. Just go right at him.
Carter Beck lays off the breaking ball.
It's the free passes that drive coaches crazy in situations like this, again, when you're staked to a fairly healthy lead. But I'm sure the Pirates still have nightmares about what happened last night.
Yeah, 6-0 lead that dwindled in the 7th, losing that one 7-6 in a tight game. All of a sudden, a 3-0 count.
There's a whole host of folks playing toss down in the Pirate pen. We did mention earlier, this Indiana State offense has had some explosive moments this year.
There's a strike. Yeah, week 1 scored 16 runs, followed that up with 36 runs in the next game. Whew. Along with a 12 spot against Bethune-Cookman in the midweek. The 3-1 to Beck is hit hard, but Dixon Williams all over it. It's been a busy night for him defensively.
Yep, little routine put out. He didn't have to hardly take a step there. Not the last couple plays, we've seen him kind of running all over the place. We've seen him jump and make a great play and put a tag on a guy. So that one a little more of the routine variety.
Miguel Cantu, the junior college All-American for Morton College, steps in. And he'll take that slider. A team with 26 new faces looking to replace a 44-win club from a year ago. And right now, Jenkins continues to attack. Matching his longest start in a Pirate uniform. Oh, that foul ball hits his own teammate, but out of play, so it's okay. Otherwise, that's an out if he's in fair ground.
Yeah, if he's in, that's the rule at third is down and foul, back in fair. Let's see, did they get a piece of it? Just behind him.
The 1-2. Nice stop by Walker Barron, who gets his first full year behind the plate. And what Ryan McChrystal was able to do last season defensively for the Pirates. He was a good offensive piece as well, but that catching position is critical for Austin Knight and this staff. Here's the 2-2. Left up in the zone. Dangerous line drive. Hooking foul.
Foul ball. I mean, it was it flirted for a long time. Luckily off the end of the bat, kind of a one-handed swing. Take a look at it here, and it's I don't know, coming off the bat, it looked like it was going to be hit a little further than that to me, Ev. I don't know what you thought, but you
always
see it
less
there.
stressful after the fact.
Yeah, about
in the moment.
About a foot in foul territory.
Shows you the power of Miguel Cantu off of one leg. Hooks it 320. Jenkins here on 2-2. Dots it up nicely for another strikeout. Give him 5.
That's that pitch we've seen all night. Marine, the umpire, he's like that spot, and Jenkins does just what you said. He dots that one up for called strike 3, 2 outs in the inning now.
Well, in pitch framing, if you're Barron, that was an area that allowed Jacob Cozart, the All-American at NC State, to be a second-round pick. If you can earn strikes at this level, that's vital defensively.
Yeah, and it's looked at a lot at the big league level. It's one of the metrics that they use to judge.
Yeah,
Salvador
draft
pick
Perez
catchers, and
last year led the MLB, the Royal, defensively, even in his late 30s.
You know, I can't help but to wonder if Carlos Pena that's at the plate is any relation to the Carlos Pena that was the big leaguer for so long.
You ask a really good question as Pena takes the swing and a miss.
One with Tampa Bay Ray at one point, maybe who drafted him.
The Missouri transfer Carlos Pena in the hole here, 0-2. Pena ropes one to right field. There's a base hit and the first run for the Sycamores. To get his hands around 94 up and in, this is impressive.
It just kind of gets the barrel out there again. Two strike stroke there, not trying to do too much, and knowing that easy RBI if he can get a ball in the outfield. He does just that. There for a minute, I really thought Jenkins was going to pitch out of that early trouble and maybe not surrender one, but 2-strike knock.
There's a big swing and a miss for Sutherland, mixing in the slider tonight.
Sutherland doing him a bit of a favor on that one. Let's see if Jenkins kind of tries to extend that outer corner again. A couple balls off, maybe get a swing.
Off the end of the bat there, it's knocked foul. Would this sort of be the limit if you're Cliff Godwin, 6 innings of work for Jenkins?
Yeah, I don't, you know, again, the innings, but 85 pitches. Last night we saw Norby go just north of 90. So I think it's probably in that range. And again, they've had some guys up in the pen for quite a while playing toss. So I would imagine this will be the end of his night.
The true freshman here on 0-2 gets a swing and a miss. Good fastball, and that could be the end of his night. 6 punch outs for Jenkins, helping the Pirates through 6 quality innings. Back-to-back nights, great starting pitching. It was Ethan Norby yesterday. It's Sean Jenkins here on a Saturday night. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. All offense for the Pirates so far. Dixon Williams, the breakout 2 hits, and then John Collins, the opposite field bomb. On a crescent moon kind of night. Gorgeous here at East Carolina. And Indiana State in danger of dropping back-to-back games by big runs here in the Keith LeClaire Classic.
I think Sean Jenkins would take exception to that. Pretty good night, right? Finally gave up a run there in the last. Looks like his night's over. Lots of hugs in the dugout. Scattered 4 hits over 6. Another, just really quality outing for the true freshman.
Jenkins, who's yet to yet to earn a win in his tenure, despite a great start in his debut and then competitive against North Carolina last week. So we have a pitch comm issue for Indiana State. It's Jeremy Martinez who fills in. Grant McGill, he was all Missouri Valley last year. Grant is signed in the White Sox system as a free agent, and he'll begin his minor league tenure coming up. One of 4 drafted players for the Sycamores last year.
Yeah, you see there Coach Archuleta coming out to help his catcher. Another advancement in the game, a change in the game is the headset that goes to the catcher, kind of like the green dot for football.
ECU to lead off this bottom of the 6th with Colby Wallace, who's one of a multitude of players who's looked to lock down that third base position this year for Cliff Godwin. It's been a rotating cast defensively as Wallace pops this one up. And hold on a second. Nice recovery for Emmerich to make the play.
Yeah, you've seen Colby Wallace over there. You've seen Trammell, which is actually Jenkins' high school teammate of Fred T. Ford. So 2 good players coming out of that program. Seen Trammell play some infield, some outfield. Coach Godwin loves the versatility. Always has.
The utility players are ever more important, especially with next year's roster size changing with the house settlement. As there's a base hit in right field. Austin Irby with his first hit, and he hits the brakes quickly after the Pirates' 8th hit of the night.
Yeah, at one point, Coach Godwin and staff had established the 2-way U moniker for the pitcher position player with Alec Burleson and Agnos and others.
Yeah, we saw what Jack Caglione did for Florida last year. I think the 2-way prospects are going to be even more prominent in the coming years with the roster changes and limits in college baseball.
Yeah, especially if, one of those positions you would happen to play would be like behind the plate. The value there of having the third catcher, but he's also a capable defender in the outfield or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think there'll be some creativity in roster construction. It's going to be really interesting to see how all that shakes out. If people don't know what we're talking about, there's this discussion about going to 34 and then the number's still not set and how they're going to go to that in roster size based off an election of how many scholarships you'll be eligible to.
With the thought that some programs could fully fund, they
Right.
could choose the number of scholarships based on Title IX requirements.
At first even the SEC came out and said, hey, we're not going to fund it at that level. And then you started having programs in the SEC pop up and say, wait a minute, y'all might not do it, but we're going to do it. And it's obviously a huge leg up when you can, have more scholarship dollars than your competitors. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes. There's part of the talk is if you don't opt into it, then you would have a 40-man roster, which would still be a reduction in what you see programs typically bring in the fall. So, 40, 34, they're all less than 50-ish, which is what typically programs start the season with.
And worth noting that opt-in deadline is March 15th, so it's coming up here in a couple of weeks. The big picture now back to the day-to-day here in college baseball. East Carolina, game 2 of this LeClaire Classic. They'll take on a red-hot Virginia Tech tomorrow as the Hokies have pounded the baseball, double-figure runs in the first 2 games. As here's a pop-up for Collins out of play. There's the second out.
Good ball stayed up there for a while. You know, Collins is one of those guys, if you're getting ready to get up and go to the restroom, you may want to stay for just a second because he really hits balls as hard as anybody the Pirates have had on a consistent basis in the Cliff Godwin era. He is a big, strong, physical guy and certainly puts up some scary numbers on TrackMan.
As Roger Vergara will work ahead in the count. Yeah, John Collins does not get cheated on his swings, including the opposite field home run.
You know, I got a name for you. Go back to the days of maybe Kyle Roller. Played here back years ago. Kyle Roller, similar juice, a little bit different style of hitter, but similar body type, similar juice, and Rollins really does consistently hit the ball hard.
Eight runs, 7 hits for the Pirates tonight. The bats have been cooking ever since the second inning. There's a hard hit baseball. Vergara with his hit for the night. That'll move runners to first and third, and it's bobbled, allowing a run to score. Good hustle from Irby to cash in on the mistake.
Yeah, Vergara just flips the bat head at it and hits a screaming ground ball through the 4-hole over there, and then a little bit of trouble coming up with it from Garris out in right field. See it right here, that ball's smoked. Garris gets to it in good shape, but kind of ramps up the glove and gets away from him, allowing the run to score. So the Pirates push their lead back to 8.
Vergara takes advantage. That is actually ruled a double. We'll keep tabs on that with the Garris mishap.
And they're going to lift Vergara for Braden Burris. Will go into pinch run for him. Most likely replace somebody in the outfield. There'll be some type of shuffling. Vergara, again, not having a ton of time in the outfield. Braden Burris, another one of these infielders, converted to outfielders. And
the good news for those of you at home, 23 honoring Coach LeClaire, every player in the Pirates wearing it. But look at those numbers on the right of the sleeve. That helps us all out tonight with Burris checking in. You'll see those special uniform matchups when NC State comes to town with an ALS fundraising game that's always talked about in this state. As that ball's roped out of play, foul.
You know, we talked to it earlier. It doesn't appear that Aaron Moss is fooling any of these Pirate hitters. Are all getting off really good swings, and we've seen some balls hit really hard. Some have been outs, but the Pirate hitters are certainly sitting dead red on that fastball.
Here's the 0-1. Back up the middle. Bad hop, and it sneaks into center. No chance for Taylor on that wicked English, and it's 10-1.
Yeah, kind of a high boundary. Takes a little drop step. It looks like he may collect it, but just out of the reach of his glove. A little top spinner. Second bounce, he's drop step. Looks like he's in good position, and it just takes off on him. He doesn't quite get himself over there to collect that one.
That is ruled a base hit, so 9 hits for the Pirates. Not sure what else you could do at second as this ball's hit well to center. But the wind has other intentions. A line out to Beck. 2 more runs for East Carolina. The Bats extending leads through 6 innings. True freshman Sean Jenkins, 6 innings of 6K ball tonight.
Yeah, man, he was good. I mean, had it all working. We saw the fastball back up to 94. The breaking stuff was good. Little intensity early. I mean, punches out the side in the first. See him dominating, spotting up, 2 strike takes, swinging through it. What a night for that young fella.
Impressive performance for Jenkins. His best outing in a Pirate uniform, and back-to-back nights, quality starts for Ethan Norby, Sean Jenkins, and this is the question now for Coach Cliff Godwin's team. How will the bullpen manage this lead? And Gabe Beschloss, who's already appeared on the weekend, comes in. The left-hander will look to hold on to this 10-1 lead.
Tell you what, these are such big innings for the pen, not only for them to find the confidence, but to reinforce some confidence from the coaching staff, from their teammates. It's one of those deals where to come in and have a couple lockdown innings would be critical for the future of this bullpen staff, you know, at large.
So the East Carolina bullpen and the East Carolina camera crew tonight. Jay is standing on a box. He's not 10 feet tall, just to be clear. And a quick strike out of the bullpen for Keegan Garris. Beschloss forces weak contact. What we love too is during crossover season, where there's so many sports going on, a chance to put on some high quality shows this week. We'll have a game tomorrow as well. At 4 o'clock, Virginia Tech in town after a huge basketball game with Charlotte and ECU, and then a 3:30 first pitch from the baseball side of things. Mike Schwartzclub honoring Senior Day over the weekend, and a good punch out for Beschloss.
Tell you what, he needed that little reinforcement. Again, after last night's outing, comes in and makes short work of the hitter for Indiana State.
East Carolina bullpen that entered with a sub-4 ERA, but it's been hit or miss over the weekend. Jeremy Martinez now up with 1 out.
You know, the problem for the Pirate pen has been the walks, the freebies, like we talked about earlier with Indiana State. It's been too many and inopportune times, and the teams have, you know, found a way to take advantage of them.
Beschloss last night gave up a home run, did not record an out in that 7-6 loss.
You know, he came in last night in a tough situation, 2 runners on and facing Kent State's best hitter. And, you know, gets him into a 2-strike count, and then gives up the home run to Casey, the opposite field home run, one of the 3-run home runs there in that big inning.
There's strike 1.
Yeah, and this is, again, one of those situations like we talked about when Jenkins was finishing up his outing. It's like, you know, look, man, you got a 9-run lead. You don't need to give up free passes. Go right at him.
Pounds the zone here, and Martinez pops it out of play.
It's amazing what happens. Good things happen when you throw strikes. You know, you fill up the zone and guys put balls in play. Obviously, hits happen as well, but, you know, a great hitter's hitting 350, right? I mean, a great collegiate hitter, so go right at him.
That time a miss and a 1-out walk. To your point, 4 games this year for Pirate pitching with 9 or more walks, so that's over 1 an inning. And I don't care how good your offense is, that's hard to overcome in the first month of college baseball.
Yeah, at one point it was very interesting that the walk numbers and the strikeout numbers were almost tit for tat. It's not really where you want to be.
Tonight, 7 Ks to just 1 walk. Beschloss issues the opening free pass, and he flips in a strike to Thomas Emmerich.
You know, you're at the bottom of their order. Great opportunity to work the bottom part of the zone, try to induce that ground ball and let the guys in the middle turn it and get the team back on offense.
A fun Sunday brewing in Greenville with basketball Senior Day. A chance to clinch a top 6 spot in the regular season for Mike Schwartz's team. And the baseball squad will welcome Virginia Tech. Can mix in some NFL Combine and get all your sports covered over the weekend. It's 2-1.
You know, this Pirate fan base is getting a little bit restless watching Beschloss walk a guy and then fall behind the next hitter.
This was the inning last night that Kent State fueled its comeback, and a good strike there. Certainly players can overcome things night in and night out, but a fan base that's very aware of what can happen. Beschloss here 2-2. Gives up weak contact. Williams able to turn it, and a double play cleans up the inning.
That's all he wanted. Pitcher's best friend.
Boucher to Williams. That tandem's been busy tonight. A 10-1 lead for East Carolina. And tonight the pitching staff's been dialed in through 7. Here's what's been cooking in the Keith LeClaire Classic this weekend. Red hot start for John Sheff's program. 17 runs in the first 2 games, and it could set up a championship matchup Sunday at 3:30 on ESPN Plus. Indiana State in danger of dropping back-to-back games before their nightcap tomorrow at 11. Here we sit at the bottom of the 7th. An ECU program that looks to win this tournament. They got to take care of business tonight, and the Bats have provided it. 10 runs, 9 hits. And now Indiana State will make a pitching change. Braden Surreal comes in out of the bullpen, the product of the Dominican Republic. And an opportunity now, given the score and the circumstance. It's a big shutdown inning for Indiana State.
Yeah, look, all these guys are trying to earn time. And, you know, again, all this is about more than just today. And get out here and show what you got and get a little trust developed with the coaching staff. So Braden Surreal looking to have a clean inning.
The Mid-American Christian transfer coming in. And he pounds the zone with a 2-seamer for a strike. Also pitched at Western Oklahoma State in his tenure as a starter. And largely a bullpen arm here for the Sycamores, including 3 1/3 on Tuesday. And Surreal's got some pretty good breaking stuff as well.
Yeah, so far so good for him. Got the boo chant going again with Boucher at the plate. You know, the focus for Boucher is just cut down on the strikeouts and eliminate some of the swing and miss, a little more solid contact. We've seen that tonight. I mean, that the ball he hit up the middle was scorched.
Good slider and a swing and a miss there. Boucher goes down swinging. And you're right, earning innings late in a game like this, these are important for any bullpen.
Oh yeah, again, you know, this young guy wants to prove to his coaching staff and his team that he's capable, and if he gets away. Did they ever get the tag on Boucher? Yeah, right there. Okay, I didn't see that live. I looked away.
I believe, too, to your point, if a player elects to walk to the dugout, the tag doesn't need to be applied. But that's a good question.
Yeah, they got him. But yeah, there's a certain amount of, I guess, giving up your right to go to first base. But
back to the top of the Pirate order.
Peltier with the rare 0 for night. And I just got an ESPN breaking news flash that you may be interested in. It is indeed confirmed. Deebo Samuel to the Commanders.
Well, as a 49er fan, I have some Twitter to read tonight on the way home, as here's a check swing from Peltier that stays foul. Adam Schefter will be joining us shortly for a picture-in-picture update. It is unique. The folks at D1 Baseball have done a great job this year adding to their insider information. Joe Healy is a great writer for them with special blogs about Southeast schools. And in the preseason profile of ECU, there was a lot of talk of Alex Peltier. This Pirate roster looking to legitimize with 7 new starters, fill some big voids. As there's ball 2.
Takes that one a little up.
Siriel goes to the fastball. And Peltier, who's now playing in center with Riley Johnson making his way back from an injury. Played a lot of right earlier this year, but making the most of this spot in the leadoff opportunity.
Yeah, no, Pirate fans super excited about the getting Riley back. Been a couple shots of him in the dugout tonight.
A scoop in the dirt sets up a 3-2 count.
First kind of non-competitive pitch we've seen Siriel throw. He's been around the zone with every offering and just kind of yanks that one into the turf. So you see the shake from the catcher. That's probably going to be, well, I missed it, probably shaking to the fastball here. Let's see if he goes with the heater.
And now a walk puts a man on, and that could be the winning run for East Carolina.
Oldest trick in the book, 3-2 count. Catcher shakes his head, the pitcher shakes his head like he's shaking to another pitch and shakes to the fastball, and Braylon just misses with that one up.
Dixon Williams, who's been elite defensively tonight, a couple of hits at the plate as well.
He really has played well. We've seen him kind of all over the place out there. And good night at the plate. It's exactly what the doctor ordered out of Mr. Williams.
And now with the situation and the score, this becomes kind of a make or break moment for both teams as you simulate trying to win a game or extend a game if you're Indiana State.
Exactly right. Nice pick over there by Embers. That ball nearly got away from him. Thrown in the dirt.
It's the game within the game as that changeup stays down.
It seems like as much control as Siriel had when he first came in has kind of gotten away from him just a little bit.
Game 3 tomorrow, which looks to be a championship matchup with this Keith LeClaire Classic.
Well, all I did is action here.
Williams, a line drive. That drops in. And holding at second, so 2 on with 1 out.
Thought being there 1-0, kind of struggled. He wants to get back into the count. And again, I mean, the biggest thing with Dixon is we're seeing that controlled stroke. He's staying in the middle of the ballpark, even the other way at times. And Just that's the Dixon Williams that the Pirate fans know and love.
Led by the 17-year-old Sean Jenkins here for East Carolina. 6 innings of 1-run ball. The bats have helped out on this end. And this is Colby Wallace. Because the amount of times we've heard 17-year-old receiver Ryan Williams, I think we should try to replicate that here in Greenville and just mention Sean Jenkins' age the rest of the year.
Well, it's been mentioned plenty, but it's a big part of the storyline with him. But he is certainly rolling up right in front of us.
Pound in the zone with 6 Ks tonight. He was excellent. And here's a 2-0 count to Colby Wallace.
Again, you know he wants to get back in this count. Let's see if Colby Wallace has got one zoned up and can get off a good swing here.
The 2-0 pulled foul.
Colby probably like to have that one back. That was a pitch that I would think he would have some success on, but just rolls it over foul.
Siriel needs outs to extend this game to the 8th. Wallace touches one hard, and we hope Martinez is okay.
Yeah, he's a catcher. He's tough. We said, "I look okay."
Good note by the umpire there, Brian Marine, just to check in and make sure.
This is the standard courtesy between a catcher and an umpire. Either one of them takes a foul ball or hit by a pitch. The other one makes the courtesy trip out to the mound and buys them a little time to kind of get their wits back about them. So Brian Marine doing just that, still chatting with the catcher. Martinez making sure he's okay, and looks like Martinez will put his earpiece back in, and we'll get back to it.
With the run rule, in fact, Wallace could win this game right here in the 7th. The 2-2 is driven left center. That'll stay up, and a second out. So the opportunity passes down to Austin Irby.
One for one on the day, a couple walks. Productive day at the plate for the freshman.
Irby's reached base 3 times. He steps in with 2 outs and lays off.
Pirate base runners, good job reading that dirt ball. Dirt ball reads, work on them all the time. Catcher Martinez, good job blocking it. No chance for them to go anywhere.
Siriel's 1-0. Stays down. Indiana State starter Grant Parson, some trouble with the walks. 5 giveaways in those first 3 innings. And then Jacob Spencer, part of an 8-run 4th, has made things real dicey in the 7th. The 2-0 pitch is smoked to right center. Plenty deep. Irby walks it off for the Keith LeClaire Classic. The offense came to play in Greenville, and the Pirates win by run rule.
Tell you what, that was a no-doubter. That was a laser out of the ballpark. Another one of those 2-0 pitches that we've seen Siriel throw a handful of times to try to get back in counts. The difference is he didn't get away with that one, and Austin Irby, the true freshman out of Virginia, made him pay with a 3-run, effectively walk-off home run to secure the run rule victory, 13-1.
What a swing for this Pirate offense. 2 home runs tonight, and that ball was touched. Irby reached his base 4 different times to secure this second game and set up a championship final between Virginia Tech and East Carolina tomorrow.
The team will head out and get their jungle jump in, and I'm sure Irby will get a curtain call amongst others. Great outing by Sean Jenkins, the freshman. Great outing by Gabe Beschloss to come in and get the job done out of the bullpen.
Sean Jenkins earns his first win in a Pirate uniform and some fun moments post-game here in Greenville. The Bats responded for East Carolina. 13 runs on the board. They'll take on Virginia Tech tomorrow for the Coach LeClaire Classic Tournament title. For Mike Mullis and our talented crew, I'm EvanBudrovich. This is a presentation of ESPN. East Carolina rolls on a Saturday night in Greenville.